Hey Mustangs, this is a brain bust for you, Mustang staff. I've been doing these for our students, but today is for you. So as we anticipate the return to school of students and staff alike, we have some big changes coming up. And you probably have a lot of big feelings going on. Maybe some fear and anxiety, maybe some joy and excitement, maybe some frustration, maybe some anticipation, maybe some annoyance, all of those things. And I want you to know that they are all completely legitimate. Not only are they legitimate and normal on a regular basis, but right now, as we have been in months and months and months of change and uncertainty and a global crisis, they're even more common. So as we face this big change, I want to talk to you about what your brain's doing and how to help your brain do even better. So one thing I talked about in episode 3 with the kids is neural pathways, and I likened them to a hiking trail that's really well worn. And so a really well worn hiking path, the leaves and the dirt are compressed, no branches in your way, no trees in your way, and you know the path to go. And so things like being home, not commuting, not having to pack your lunch, statements like, I am safest at home, I am not safe if I'm around other people, I'm not safe to leave my house to be around a lot of people, and going to work is not safe. All of those separate things are each their own neural pathway. And so those statements that I just said, I am safest at home, I'm not safe at work, I'm not safe around a lot of people, those are each their own neural pathway. And we have traveled those roads, those trails, said those words to ourselves. We've heard them from friends and family, from the news, from reports, over and over and over since March. So doing anything to the contrary is going to feel wrong. But just because it feels wrong doesn't mean it is wrong, okay? The people who have been here every day that are in charge of the building, they have been working very hard to make sure it is safe for you and for the kids. And so those neural pathways that you've been traveling that are going to have to shift if you want to have a somewhat healthy, kind of okay return to school, we're just going to have to work at it. And it does take work, and it can be hard, and it can be annoying, but you teach, which is a superpower. And if you have superpowers, then you can do some really hard things, okay? So I'm going to give you 3 suggestions for rewiring those neural pathways in your brain. So again, the ones in your brain that are going to make coming back to school feel wrong are things like having to commute again, having to pack your lunch again, saying to yourself or thinking to yourself, leaving my house is not safe, thinking to yourself, being around a lot of people is not safe, and thinking to yourself, going to work is not safe. Okay, those are all neural pathways that we're going to have to rewire. We're going to have to repave some other ones to come back to school in a healthy, safe way. Okay, so number 1, get up and get out. If you have been staying in your house almost all or all of the time, get up and get out. If you get your groceries delivered, either try a grocery trip or go somewhere small like Walgreens or CVS, okay? Get up and get out. Train your brain. I can leave the house and be safe. I can be around other people and be safe. You have to, I know it sounds silly, but you have to retrain your brain that that's the case, okay? Which was going to be the case when we started getting back to normal anyway, but as you come back into a building with hundreds of people, you're going to have to work at telling yourself to get up and get out. I can go out of my house. I can be around a lot of people. I can be safe, okay? And getting up and out of your house is one way to do that. Number 2, find an anchor point. This is a really great place for a growth mindset statement. I'm not used to going to work, but I know I can be with practice, right? This is not like August when you come back after a summer. This is not like that because this was not altogether anticipated. It is an odd time of the year. and it is during a global pandemic. So it's not like August. And thinking of commuting and thinking of packing your lunch and thinking of teaching your kids how to stand in the hallway, those are all things that you normally do in August that you're going to have to do now, as well as maintain where you're teaching, right? So it's just different. And so if you find an anchor point, I'm not used to going to work, but I will be with practice. I'm not used to this commute, but I'll get used to it with practice, right? Learning is all about repetition. You all know that. And just like you teach your children to use repetition with times tables and place value and identifying coins and main points or the main idea, the same applies to your mental health. The more that you repeat it to yourself, the more that you tell yourself that growth mindset statement, the more ingrained it becomes, the more well-worn that neural pathway becomes, and the easier it is to travel down. Okay? Number 3, stay connected to your people. So the people who know you best, the people who kind of help you carry your burdens and kind of receive some of your anxiety and your fear when you have it, stay connected to those people. Even if you don't want to tell them all the way how you're feeling, just connecting with someone who is regularly connected to you in your heart and, just is a good friend or is a good family member can help keep the brain at a certain level of calm. Okay, because everything's connected in here. So when someone you love and trust and you connects to your heart, especially in a moment of stress, that can really alleviate some of the stress in your brain. Okay, so for a healthy return, my 3 strong suggestions to you are get up and get out, find an anchor point, and stay connected. Okay, this is not going to be altogether easy. It's not going to be altogether fun. We know that. We all know that. But it can get better. And you can come back here and know that you're safe. Okay? So that's what I have for you today. See you later.